Peeps, what's going on? Goobs back with another video. In this one, we're going to be covering the mid-year content drop, the all-star content, the home run derby content. I'm pumped, man. Last year, we had so many good cards. We had like DeGrom, we had Trey Turner. There were so many good ones. I'm very excited to see what they've put together here. They very rarely miss on these content drops, man, and I think it's the same for this year. They've killed it this year. So let's dive into some of the stuff that is outside of the actual program. So I believe there's nothing really new in the pack store. Tonight there will be, though. I assume there will be some sort of home run derby choice pack for like the people, for whoever wins the derby will probably be the boss, and then all like the guys that lose in the first round will be the base rounds, and then the next round will be like the mid-tier round, and then the final guy will be the home run derby winner. Cross your fingers for 99 Julio Rodriguez. So there is a new event. There is a Moonshot All-Star event. So it's basically just, my camera's kind of in the way, but it is any hitters. The max pitcher overall is 64 overall. You can use any team. It is stadium lot at Dodger Stadium. That's the only thing. And the rewards are pretty solid, man. There is a flashback Framil Reyes from last year. This card looks absolutely insane. 102, 109, 122, 120 with silver defense. That card's going to hit about 800 on you in BR. Then one of my all-time favorite players, Adam Dunn, flashback finest. I'm so excited to see how many more flashback finest cards they release, man. 97, 90, 125, 107 for Adam Dunn. He can also play first. He's got 71 fielding over there with a 92 arm, so you could probably put him in the corner outfields and he would play pretty decent. But I mean, I think these cards are basically just for, you know, they're kind of binder fillers, but you know, they're also usable. Enough about the small shit. Let's bump right into the all-stars of the franchise program, and this is the big stuff here. So as per usual, they have like your gameplay XP and then your flashback missions. You have your exchanges, which I love because I always stack up on players so that I can get XP super fast with the exchanges. So you get your first pack around 45k, and the way that this is, so it is basically just a 3-round choice pack. So there will be 5 cards from each division, so the East, the West, and the Central. There's an NL one and then there is an AL one, I believe, and you can't get every single card that is in here. There are some pretty solid ones, like there's some nice cool ones like a flashback like Ryan Stanek, probably Michael Conforto. There's a bunch of actually like really good cards here, and I think the cards that are going to go very under the radar, man, like this closer Adam Wainwright is always very good. There's a 91 Mark Melancon who I'm going to love. I love this silver card at the start of this year. There's a 94 Arenado who looks really good. A 91 Ryu for my all-time Jays team. Sergio Romo is always really good on his flashback cards. The NL now for the AL. Ooh, a nice little Darren O'Day. Prime Darren O'Day. We always love Prime Darren O'Day. Kevin Youkilis gets a mid-tier diamond here. Not a fantastic card, but you know, for your Red Sox fans, I'm glad that he finally got one. Kevin, the milestone Kevin Biggio is back. That's always a thing that you'd love to see. 94 Blake Snell as well. The second half when he was on the Rays. Roberto Perez. Ooh, a Yoan Moncada. Yo, this card could be glitchy. He's got an unbelievable swing. 91 Jorge Soler is back. I believe he was the first ever BR program card. He was the first one last year. I'm very excited to see that card back. 93 Alex Bregman looks like a dog. 94 Brandon Marsh, who kind of hasn't really taken that next step into the MLB yet. And Dan Vogelbach. Vogie got a card. Let's go, man. That's shit you love to see. Overall, like, are these cards in like the henchman packs like the best? No, but there are some very fun cards here, and I think there actually are some very usable cards in it. So as I said, you do get the NL one first, and you get the AL one at 65k, and they give you 5 different packs, I believe. So you can earn each and every single card in those packs. So you can get George Brett quicker in the future collection. You get your first choice pack though at 100k XP, which is pretty short. I think 100k XP isn't that difficult to get, and it is the NL West one. I think they always do the NL West one first. Take a peek at these cards, man, though. Joe Mantiply, little lefty bullpen guy with a sinker, 103, 125 walks per 9. Wow, this guy is going to throw dots. CJ Cron does get one, 112, 88, 105, 106 from my... I don't really know who else they could have gave it to. other than CJ Crone. I mean, he had a very, very hot start to the season. I still think he's doing all right, but Tony Gonzone has been one of the best pitchers in the MLB so far this year, and his card shows it. 115 hits per nine is crazy. Little Manny Machado action as well. 95 fielding is solid. The power against righties isn't really there. That's actually a very... The splits on that card are strange, dude. 117, 90, 76, 125. Manny's just hitting newts against lefties this year. And then my man Los Carlos Rodon. I've played Carlos a couple times on MLB The Show. Very, very nice dude, and I mean an even better pitcher in real life. I don't really know how he'll get along in this game just because of his pitch mix and stuff like that, but not a bad card at all. You know, he's okay. Onto the NRL Central one, you get this in 20k more at speed, so this is at 120. I think definitely the pick here is going to be Corbin Burns. He's probably going to be the most selected. David Bednar for the Pirates, pretty solid, you know, pitch mix isn't really that great, but his per nine is really good. Paul Goldschmidt, obviously having an MVP candidate type season. Unbelievable card here, 80 fielding. He's got pretty high contact. I think there's definitely better first base options, but for like until we get a finest Goldie card or like the 99 Goldie later on in the year, I think this is a good holdover card. We also can't forget about Mr. Wilson Contreras, who was having himself a season for my Cubs fans out there. Absolutely lefty killer, 112 and 125. And then Luis Castillo, one of the only bright spots on the Cincinnati Reds so far this year with 107 hits per nine. So it's nice to, it's so weird seeing something like most of these cards have a higher hit per nine than signature Randy Johnson. You know, I guess if that's what makes them usable, then that's what we have to do. I think Corbin's definitely going to be the pick here. 100 stamina, 107 hits per nine. I personally was never really a fan of Corbin Burns cards, but I guess I'll have to give this guy a shot again. His good cards last year, his live series this year, player of the month cards, I've always stunk with them, but yeah, I know a lot of people love them. 20k more at speed, you do get the NL East one, and this is probably the most juiced one, at least from the ones that I've seen. I mean, you literally couldn't go wrong with probably any of these guys, other than Edwin Diaz. He probably is the worst one, but Dansby, wow, they juiced Dansby. He's got diamond fielding, 83 speed with those hitting attributes, man. Oh my lordy, and he has a fantastic swing. Dansby is glitchy. I think this is by far like gonna be probably the most popular pick from every choice pack. Sandy, he's gonna bully people. He's going to bully people. 112 stamina, 111 hits per nine. The K per nine don't even look at. K per nine doesn't really do shit in game as far as I know. I know it used to make your PCI smaller back in the day, but I know people say that it affects like the outer PCI and it affects like foul balls. Cards with 125 K per nine still get a million foul balls off of them, so don't even worry about the K per nine stat. 93 watts per nine, 85 control, 99 velo. Obviously, does he have sinker? He has outlier on his sinker. That is kind of, yeah, the Sandy is going to be the DeGrom of last year. Can't forget about these other guys though, man. Bryce Harper still having himself an unbelievable year. Pretty solid card for Harper until he gets that, obviously he gets that 99 later on in the year. Same thing with Soto as well. Soto kind of having, I guess you could say, like a down year for Juan Soto standards, but no matter what kind of card Soto has in this game, he's going to be fantastic. I think Sandy is definitely the move here, but I definitely do want to try Soto, Harper, and definitely Dansby, man. Dansby looks unbelievable. Moving on to the AL, and the one that I really want to see here is Mr. Julio Rodriguez. I hope he wins the Derby just so that we can get a little bit of a more juiced out card of him. I kind of feel like if they upped him a little bit more against righties, he would be like the go-to center fielder. But with Trout being downgraded, man, and Acuna being downgraded, I definitely think Julio is viable. 99 speed, with P1, he gets diamond fielding in center. I mean, with how many lefty starters there are this year, he kills lefties, and he's still serviceable against righties. Paul Blackburn is probably like the weirdest one out of the bunch, but honestly, he kind of resembles like a bit of like a Greg Maddux. He's got that slow sinker cutter combo. Hits per nine ain't too high, but that high walks per nine in the control and his pitches, this guy's gonna throw dots. Martin Perez kind of in the same boat, except he is a lefty. This is a card that I could definitely see myself using. 94 fastball. The only thing is that his cutter is a little bit faster than I would like. If his cutter was like 85, 86, I think he would be a must use. Obviously, got to talk about my man Shohei Ohtani. Not a terrible Shohei card until we probably get some sort of MVP. I'm not really a fan of Shohei cards. I sucked with his live series this year. This card will be better than his live series, I would say, but I don't know, man. Just something about Shohei cards in this game. It just doesn't translate to how dominant he is IRL. How can we forget about this man, Justin Verlander? The fact that they only gave him 87 velo, dude. The guy is 39 years old, coming off a 2-year injury, and is still hitting 99. Give him the praise. I know he's going to get a better card like later on in the year. He'll obviously get his 99 card, but like, give my man his velo. I think Julio is probably going to be the most picked of this pack. Julio or Ohtani, actually. You honestly probably couldn't go wrong with any of these guys. I would say Verlander maybe would be like the least picked, just because I don't know, like only throwing 95 for Verlander. I don't know how great he's going to be. This is like a little bit of a different version of Verlander compared to what we normally get. We normally get, you know, like the outlier 102 throwing JV. This card is going to throw dots, man, with 100 walks per 9, 90 control in the control in his pitches. So a little bit of a different JV card, but I still think he's going to be viable. Blackburn actually looks okay. So does Martin Perez. This pat's not terrible. 180k XP, you get the central one. This is probably the worst pack out of all of them. I don't really know any of these guys. Like, I don't know about any of these guys. I would probably say Gregory Soto is like the consensus pick. Andre Jimenez isn't terrible either, especially against righties, man. Wow, 112.93. If you don't have Chase Utley, Jimenez is actually a very good option. Timmy's a lefty killer. You know, it's your pretty normal like mid-high diamond Tim Anderson card. I'm probably gonna take Gregory Soto though. He had an all-star card last year for the Tigers. He was pretty solid until people started facing him a bunch. So I'd say Jimenez or Soto are your probably 2 picks. And then last but certainly not least, the AL East pack. Jorge Lopez is a bit of an interesting one, considering we literally also just got a player of the month card of him. JD Martinez, I mean, if there was a DH in DD, I would probably say to use JD. He's actually kind of got like just looking at his hitting stats, he's kind of got like that Roberto Clemente type vibes. Very high contact. He's got a little bit more pop than Clemente, I believe, but I mean, obviously the fielding isn't there. So as like a budget bench bat, I'd say he'll end up being. I don't think that's a terrible card. I know all my stanky fans are gonna love this one. Aaron Judge, honestly not terrible until we get his finest later on in the year. Power's obviously there. The only thing with Judges though, man, is that I hate his swing. Even like this year, I tried him. I just can't hit with him, man. The fucker's too tall. Now this is a guy that thoroughly deserves it. Shane Mcclanahan has been shoving this year. I just don't know how great he's gonna be in game with that pitch repertoire. He's a lefty, so he'll fool some people, but this is the man that I have saved. Oh, captain, my captain, Alejandro Kirk is an all-star. Obviously, there are much better selections at catcher, but Kirk will be my catcher. I want to get him P5. I'm going to use him no matter how bad I do with him. He's actually not terrible either, man. Like, there's definitely better options like Napoli and probably even Joe Mauer, but he's also pretty hard to use considering he's 5'8". But hey, our average height kings need to stick together. 117, 95, 90 pop against righties, so he will hit a couple bombs against righties. 81's still not terrible. Overall, like a pretty decent card. I'm just over the moon that he actually got one, man. I'm so happy. So you get a choice pack every 20k XP. I believe they have like a bunch of different other packs and stuff. You know how they normally do have these balling out of control packs all over the place as well. Then have to face the franchise and stuff like that. So program goes on for about 3 weeks. If you're a grinder, there's a ton of packs in this. So I mean, who don't love packs? But you know, it is a lot of grinding, but the fact that you only get 3,000 stubs at 750,000 XP is kind of wild. But there's just a ton of way to earn XP, obviously, man. The Conquest, the March to Octobers. I know that's how people normally like build up like XP. I think like you've seen somebody already at a show. I think you can literally just get to the end of March to October and so you get all of the XP. And then like once the program comes out, you can just redeem the XP on it. I'm not entirely sure how it works. I don't play March to October. I never have, and I probably never will, but I think that's pretty well everything though, man. So yeah, you can see I was talking about the March to October stuff. There's obviously guys still with these cards. I don't know how expensive these cards will end up being. They're obviously going to be super expensive the first like couple of days probably. But, you know, over the next 2 weeks, you know, the good ones like Sandy and stuff, they'll probably hover around like maybe 60, 70-ish K. But the rest of them will probably drop down to like, you know, I mean, like Wilson Contreras probably like 30, 40K. Let me know what you guys think, man. I appreciate the support as always. The All-Star content drop, I'm super excited for it, man. There's new events, there's obviously new BR stuff that I haven't touched, so I got a lot to grind out, man. I'm very excited for this next week of MLB The Show. So let me know who you guys like in the All-Star program, what your favorite team is, who your card is for your team, and I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces.